got a different video today. It is going to be based off a tactic I've made in one of my personal saves. It is going to be called Daily Ball. It was made in FM22, but don't worry, I've obviously retested it for FM24, and it does cook. It's very unique. I can guarantee you have never seen a tactic like it. If you do enjoy the tactics on this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and you can turn on the notification bell. This way you're never going to miss another post I do ever, and there's quite a fair few of them. So go back, check out the other tactics if you get bored, you want something different. But let's get into the results. We've got 4 very different teams. First up, and it's going to be the powerhouse of the video. That is going to be FC Bayern, obviously over in Germany, but we actually put on a quadruple win and display. Absolutely stampede in the Bundesliga with 90 points over Leipzig with 74. We win the Champions League just over Porto in extra time. The Pokal we also are going to win against Bayer Leverkusen in 4-0 fashion, and the Super Cup we're going to win on penalties of always to win against RB Leipzig. So Leipzig got done a little bit dirty, to be fair. The Bundesliga though, looking at the league table, you can see we only lose 2 games out of 34. Harry Kane top goal scorer, Muller in second place, first, second and third with the average rating, and assist-wise, first, second and third as well. Manuel Neuer also picking up 12 clean sheets, so literally covering every aspect to a very, very high level. Stat-wise, we are going to be looking at points per game at 2.65, most goals at 118, most shots at 680, the fewest shots against at 172, most dribbles being made at 609, fewest conceded at 22, and the most clean sheets coming in at 20. So everything we're covering, the only thing which is not going to be ridiculously high is the possession. Still quite good at 58%, but of course not rank 1, because I wouldn't say it's really a possession-based tactic at all. Of course, going over to the data hub, it's going to be very good at 3.47 goals per game, 0.65 conceded a game, 20 shots every single match, and 88% pass completion, and a tackle win ratio of 78.22. So again, covering every aspect here really well, conceding very few goals, scoring a lot of goals, getting a lot of shots off every single game, a good pass completion, and we're quite clean when it comes to tackling, so nothing really going wrong. And we're going to watch that Pokal final against Bayer Leverkusen, one of the best teams in football at the moment. Kingsley Coman just takes on the entire back line, to be honest. It's a great bit of skill and a great finish from him to make it 1-0 inside very early, 4 minutes I believe that was. They then try and get a counter going, but we intercept it. Harry Kane plays it through into Coman, who, by the way, I think probably had one of the best seasons I've seen of him in a Bayern Munich shirt, as he picks up his second goal before half-time. One more goal before half-time comes in, actually, funny enough. Leroy Sané on the other flank, contributing from that deeper, obviously, left-wing area you're going to see when we break down the tactic. One more goal to finish it off here. A 4-0 win, by the way. A very good game, and Kingsley Coman completes a hat-trick. Up next is going to be Liverpool, obviously over in the Premier League, a team which are definitely in the mix to win the Premier League, with Manchester City and, of course, Arsenal. Arsenal all the way down in 6th, though, on this occasion. We win the Europa League as well against Atalanta. The FA Cup we are going to win against Leeds in 5-0 fashion. It's quite an easy final, and runners-up in the Carabao Cup. Unfortunately, Manchester United beat us in that one, but the league is going to be ours, which is the most important. Again, only losing 2 games, winning 34, drawing the other 2, second highest goal scorer, but when you got Haaland in the league, very hard to beat him. So it is going to be Mo Salah with 23 goals, also picking up the highest average rating. And when it comes to assists, it's exactly what I want to be seeing, because both wingbacks are going to be first and third, showing how good wingbacks are in this tactic. Of course, that is the whole point. Alisson contributing with 20 clean sheets, definitely not 20 assists, so a very good season for him as well. Team stats, most points per game at 2.74, most goals at 132, which is quite a fair few more than Man City in second place. Most goals at 768, fewest conceded at 200. Possession-wise, again, we're not going to be anything too crazy. We're going to be in the mix in 5th place, coming in with 56% of the ball. Defensively, though, we are clear of absolutely everybody. Data hub-wise, it is going to be very good again at 3.47. Very similar to, obviously, the Bayern stats, to be honest. 0.53 conceded, I think that's a little bit better. 20.21 shots per game, a fantastic pass completion, and a great tackle win ratio. We are literally covering every element of Football Manager down to an absolute T. We're scoring a lot of goals, we're not conceding many at all, we're ripping off shots, all while having a great pass completion. This is going to be an interesting one against Leeds, obviously in that cup final, where we do absolutely obliterate them 5-0, and we get the goals coming in. Bit of a deflection goal, not a great start for Leeds in the cup final in 18 minutes, but we go again in the 31st minute. Szoboszlai down the right-hand side, just taking on everyone. Nothing the Leeds players can do, as Mo Salah gets one of the easier goals of his career, provided on the plate from Szoboszlai. Darwizzi comes on, plays it out into Endo, into Robertson, down the left-hand side. Who is that? Because he's just been absolutely burnt. Who is that? That is going to be Dallas. I mean, it's not a fair battle. Whistle. How he's still even playing football, I will not know. He's absolutely diabolical. But we're going to take the third goal, and 2 more goals come in right towards the end. It's going to be classic Leeds here, trying to play out from the back, messing up into Thiago, into McAllister. It would have been a penalty, but we'll take the goal instead, as it is going to be Mo Salah tucking away to 4th. And right before the full-time whistle, you can see the amount of people that get forward. And the great thing about this is the mixture of players you're going to see. So you've got a left back here. Obviously, you're going to have Robertson. That means Tomiskas must have been playing either at centre-back or maybe in one of the midfield roles. We've got Endo, obviously pushing up from midfield all the way up. Darwizzy there. And also, what would happen is Harvey Elliott would make a run, as you're seeing on your screen right now. And I thought it was going to go to him, but it goes to Endo. It's a comfortable fight. Over to a bit of Scottish second-tier football now. In the Championship, we are using Queen's Park, a team predicted to finish in 4th place. We have come out and nearly put on an invincible season, only losing 1 game here, which you can see against Inverness in it's a 1-0 loss. It's really heartbreak. Could have been an invincible season there. We do win the Viaplay Cup, though, and beat Rangers 4-0, just to clarify that. So I don't know what happened to that team. We will be watching the final, that is for sure. We also do win the Trust Trophy in 3-0 fashion over Raith Rovers, so we've got to take it. It's technically a treble, a very strange treble, but of course we are going to claim it. The Championship, we're going to be second top goal scorers with J. Kroll with 19 goals, first and third with the average rating, and second and third joint with the most assists with 11 for Thomas and Robson, all while Callum Ferry picks up the most clean sheets. Team stat wise, it's going to be the most points per game at 2.64, the most goals at 90, obviously that's going to be 18 over second place. The fewer shots against, the most shots. We actually nearly took every stat line home by the looks of it. The best pass completion, the most possession, which does show, depending on the league you're playing in, even we're not even the strongest team in the league, you can out-possession other teams. It is very relevant with what league you're playing in to how much you're going to have. The most dribbles being made and the fewest conceded. Where were we with the most clean sheets? Second place. Almost every stat line we are going to feature. Data hub-wise, it is going to be 2.5, 0.64 a game, 17.2 shots a match, and 88% pass completion, and attacker win ratio of 78.36. It's very similar to the other teams, obviously a little bit less goals. Defensively though, it's basically the same. What a season. So unfortunately, it's gone way too up before I can actually look at the highlights of this game. But that's going to be the Viaplay Cup. You can see here, we actually got off to a very good start in 9 minutes. We are going to watch a game though, don't you worry. We'll watch some highlights. We'll go with can we watch this one now? We'll go with this one. The last game of the season, a 4-1 win. Obviously, quite the scoreline to be fair. I don't know how good this team is we're playing, but we'll take it. It's a 5-goal game, quite entertaining to watch. And as you can see, the stadium, there is literally about 10 fans in the entire stadium, so clearly not a big game at all, but it is what it is at the end of the day. As you can see, we got off to quite a good start there inside of 24 minutes. They do bounce back with a penalty from McGabe, quite a decent penalty, knocks it past Kane in goal, but we go again, Kroll ball back stick, and it's a great ball and an even better header from Wilson to make it 2-1. We build up again, this is just before the end of the first half, goes through to Scott, he's going to go alone, he's going to drive it inside, it's a great ball to be fair to him, and an even better finish past Ray, and one more goal in around the 70th minute, it's going to be Kroll into the bottom right. We'll take it. And last up is going to be a Spanish second division football. That is going to be with Oviedo, quite a well-known team, also runners-up in the Spanish Cup, by the way. Real Madrid did give us a little bit of a stuffing, but to get to the final and score 2, I'm going to take with a team like Oviedo. In the league, I will say we were very, very good. We absolutely didn't dominate. We dominated from obviously first and second. Then there's a big gap, obviously, in third place. We obviously won the league, top goal scorer, which you've got to take, rank 1 and rank 2 when it comes to the average rating. Assist-wise, first, second, and third, we'll definitely claim that. Assist-wise, we are going to be featuring almost everything. Most points per game, most goals at 117, the most shots at 748, the fewest shots at 268, possession-wise at 58%, and obviously the dribbles being made in second place. Now, I was hoping we were going to finish in rank 1 for this, because we are very direct when it comes to that side of the game, but second place, of course, we are going to take. Fewest conceded, we are going to be first place in that one. Always a good stat line to have on your side. And when it comes to the most clean sheets, we're going to be 6th place joint with Tenerife, and not far behind is going to be Valladolid. I believe is how you say that. But overall, still a very, very good season. And one stat line I found quite funny, actually. I'm going to show you. A lot of green in here, by the way, is this. I've never seen a result like this in some time. 15-1. I know it is against the second team, but I've never seen a team try so hard in pre-season. So that was quite a good indicator of how good we're going to do. 15-1. That is humiliating. Data hub-wise, it is going to be 2.79 goals a game, 0.93 conceded, 17.81 when it comes to the shots per game, and 89% pass completion, and attacker win ratio of 75.13. It's a very good season. Got a game to watch from the league that is going to be one of the last games of the season. I think this was second to the last game, and right from the start we got off to a flying start. Inside of 15 minutes, a bit of a scrappy one, bounced in front of the goalkeeper. You can see the pitch conditions, they're absolutely awful. Then a set piece comes in, again, not the highest quality goals, I will be honest, in this one, but we'll take it regardless because we were 2-0 up before even the first half had ended. We then go into the second half, 61 minutes being played, playing it from side to side, through the middle eventually. That was a bit of a better quality goal, to be fair. Quite good from the midfielder, play it right through to the striker. It's an easy finish. Loads of options in the box here. It's what's really good about this tactic. You can see here we've got 4 players on this side of the field, and if he gets the ball into the box, he's actually got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got a lot of players. He's got 5 players in the box to pick out. You also got a great option back here in Lucas. Where's he going to go? He's going to play it onto the edge, back into the middle, and when you've got so many players in the box, you can do that very easy. But of course, for those that play on console and mobile, you can come over and get this tactic exclusively to the Patreon in the description. I always make a console and a mobile variant exclusively for those people that do support the channel. But for the console viewers, just to show you a rough indicator, we absolutely cooked. Simple as that, really. Yes, it is with PSG. This tactic is definitely designed for usage with better teams, to be honest with you, especially on the console. Mbappe, 47 goals, as to be expected. 103 scored as a team, ranking us the best, and 25 going in. Again, ranking us the best, also winning the Trophy de Champion. Nothing really going wrong, to be honest, over the season. The data hub, 3 goals a game, which is very high for console. Under a goal conceded. 19 shots a game, an 88% pass completion, a great tackle win ratio. Considering us on console, it's a little bit harder than PC in my opinion. These stats are absolutely remarkable, and it would work with sort of like a mid-table Prem team. But if you're going in with like a Luton, I probably wouldn't advise it as much if you want to guarantee win after win after win. And on the console, we got very similar results. We actually did win the Champions League and the French League, not the Cup and the Trophy de Champion. So if you do want to see them results, you can do it by joining the Patreon, messaging me, etc, etc. But of course, go over and check it out. But let's break down the tactic for the PC. Remember, to your favourite part of the video, that is the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying it, it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button. Let's try and get this video to 80 likes. It helps the channel out massively. It helps the video get found. And of course, thank you to all these wonderful people coming down the screen. There's over 3,200 people that are now in the Patreon. Again, there's a reason to join. You get over 13 perks. You get access to all 3 of these tactics today in one simple download. It saves a ton of time. You also get the mobile and the console tactics. You get the tactics early. You get rebuild files. You get the tactics and the rebuild priority requests. You get one-on-one tactical help, and you get access to the monthly giveaway, which last month was quite the big prize pool. So you can come over, get involved, and join the massive community we've got on there. There's also quite a good live chat, which we talk in all the time, so come over and say hello. The link is in the description. But let's go over a bit of Daily Ball. So it's going to be a very interesting shape. It almost looks like 2 perfect lines here, doesn't it? But I'll explain it. It might be a bit longer in the breakdown, so I want to get this through very, very, you know, openly and make it very clear, because it looks absolutely nuts. But I did use it in FM22. I've tested it obviously in FM24, and it works really, really well. So the goalkeeper is going to be on support. The wingback on the right is by far the less attacking wingback. He is simply just going to be on default. Not really anything too special, just do his job. I sound like Roy Keane, but just do his job. Nothing crazy. A ball playing defender on the right is simply going to be on defend. On the left, it's going to be exactly the same. The left back is going to be a wing back on attack, but this one cross more often, dribble more, run wide, and stay wider. And that is because this inverted winger is obviously a lot more drop down. So he's going to be almost a midfield player, and he is going to be obviously getting further forwards, running from position, but also he is going to be sitting narrower, meaning this wing back can overlap and obviously almost replace him. And we've got that DM here who will pretty much linger in this area here, almost to replace that wing back, who is going to be on defend, by the way, simply on the default instruction. We'll then introduce a box-to-box to obviously fill this little gap here, who is going to be on support, on get further forwards. So when it comes to defending, it's going to be quite a composed, almost free in midfield when it comes to defending. And when we are going to be attacking, he is going to go forward and almost act as another advanced playmaker and create for this front three. On the right, we have got a much more attacking winger because this wing-back isn't as attacking. He's simply going to be on the default. We then introduce an advanced playmaker on attack, on get further forwards, roam from position, and stay wider. Again, these two, so the wing-back and the advanced playmaker, can sort of create a good sort of overload on this left-hand side, as the inverted winger is going to drift inside, and it just creates a really unique way of playing. You saw in the highlights the amount of different sort of players we had getting involved when it comes to scoring goals. It works really well. And lastly, the advanced forward simply on attack. So hopefully that's explained things again. You can always ask me questions over on the Patreon, and I'll come back to you almost instantly. I always am on there, browsing, responding to people. But hopefully that does sort of make a little bit of sense. It worked really well in FM22. I thought, you know what, there's no harm in trying, because I used this, as I said, with my Leipzig team, 13 seasons. We pretty much won everything every season. It was incredible. But let's go over to the team instructions. But actually is based off a clean slate. On the attacking mentality, we're going to stick to standard, and then we're going to go with shorter, we are going to go with higher, we're going to go with be more expressive, and of course the mixed crosses. Yes, it's very basic, but this just means it's a bit of a hybrid between somewhat of a tiki-taka tactic, not a high possession tactic, but short passing vibe, but also quite attacking. You're not going to be too restricted as in, you know, control and possession but not scoring goals. It's just quite a nice basic template that works really well. The basic instructions for in transition is going to be distributing to the fullbacks, the centre-backs, counter and counter press. Again, nothing too technical, because the player roles are quite technical the way that it shapes. You don't want to overcomplicate things. And this is where a bit of a defensive shape not a lot of people will actually use. That is going to be the much higher defensive line. I have tweaked it a little bit from the original. It was actually with the high pressing line, but we are going to go with the mid block because it just works really well. Having the players compressed almost, you know, in the same sort of part of the field, it works really well. You keep the ball quite well in the sense of, like, when you attack, you don't really misplace too many passes. Again, it's not designed to have 70% possession because it is quite attacking, you know, in terms of the much higher line, the mentality, for example. But it is a good way of completing them passes and not taking too many risks. We're going to max out the trigger press. Of course, we're going to have this on, and we are going to get stuck in. But do stick around. We've got an attacking and a defensive variant, and because it is quite unique, you sort of do need all three. The attacking variant is going to shape up exactly the same, but there are player roles that are going to be a little bit tweaked. So the sweeper keeper is going to remain the same. The wingback on the right is now going to be on attack on the default. Two ball playing defenders who are going to be on the default as well. The wingback on the left is going to be on attack, on cross more often, dribble more, run wide, and obviously stay wider. The DM comes in on support on this occasion, on take more risks. The box to box remains exactly the same because he's actually quite attacking anyway. The inverted winger on the left is going to be on attack. Now, I will say this is definitely designed for if you're a goal down in the last 10-20 minutes, you're desperate for a goal, you're prepared to take risks because you need a goal desperately, you can deploy this. He's going to be on roam from position and sit narrower. A shadow striker on roam and stay wider. The winger on the right is going to be still on the default, and the advanced forward remains unchanged up front. Team instruction wise, again, clean slate on the attacking. We're going to go with fairly wide, pass into space, overlap left, overlap right, playing out from the back. We have introduced the overlap on now because I want them wing backs to really get involved, and the wingers can also make overlap and runs. Standard, higher tempo, run at defence, be more expressive. You know, the stuff where you really start to attack games. That's exactly what we want to have on. In transition, it's going to be counter press, counter, as it was in the default. We're still going to place it anyone across the back line with the short goal kicks. We're going to introduce a bit of quickness, distribute quickly. Now, out of possession, it is going to look very, very similar. In fact, it is actually the same, so I'm not going to talk too much about it at all. That is going to complete the attacking variant. Let's go over to the defensive one because, again, sometimes you need to just shut up shop, say what's good, and defend. That is where this one comes in, and yes, it is a little bit of a different shape because it has to be. It looks a little bit like a spaceship, but it does work really well. The goalkeeper is simply going to be on support. The wingback on the right and the left are both going to be on support again, as are two ball-playing defenders. Now, the reason this is because I don't want them to be overcomplicated. I don't want them to do anything crazy. I don't need them to tackle harder. I don't need them to, you know, run wide. Just simply defend with a little bit of a mixture of getting forward if we need to do so. This tactic is much more possession-based, so you are going to sort of get the theme here, obviously, with this almost flat four in midfield. Speaking about that, defensive midfield player on the right, on support, on tackle harder and mark tighter, as is the left-hand sided one. The winger on the left is going to be on support on the default, as is the right-hand side. A very good mixture because they will get forward a little bit, but they're not going to go too overcommitted. And when you're defending, you're going to almost have, well, you will have a back eight. It's absolutely impossible to break down. An advanced playmaker comes in on support, on roam from position, and the advanced forward, of course, remains unchanged because we need someone scoring the goals. Team instructions, again, we have kept it on attacking. Now, I will say this, when I had it on balanced, it was a big indicator of I was just sat back, I wasn't offering anything going forwards. Up in the mentality, kept a bit of an attacking style of play. This isn't meant to just be sit back and do nothing. It's meant to be more possession with a hint of attacking element. Nothing too crazy, so I would recommend keeping that on attacking. But of course, if you think like it's too attacking, you're a little bit vulnerable, you can go down to positive, but I would honestly keep it exactly the same. Fairly wide, focus play through the middle, playing out from the back. The possession now coming in, slightly higher, much shorter when it comes to directness, of course with them mixed crosses. In transition, it's going to be counter press, playing to anyone across the back line while taking those short goal kicks. And lastly, a much more balanced approach to the game, which obviously going to be easier for possession. Standard, the high press and line of engagement more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. And that's going to complete for you boys 3 variants of the daily ball. Again, the normal one and the default are they pretty much are the same shape. The defensive one is a little bit different because it has to be to provide a very, very defensively solid tactic. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the like button, subscribe, keep the comments coming. Again, if you are interested in joining the other 3,000 people, you can check out the Patreon in the description and on the screen somewhere. I'm sure it will be here somewhere in the video. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.